Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel Dr. Barkis Ophthalmology Tutorials. In this video, I will just be discussing about the clock hours, zones and the stages of the retinopathy of prematurity. Since these words are very frequently used when we talk about the retinopathy of prematurity, it is must to know clearly about the clock hours, how these zones are demarcated on the retina and what are the various stages of the retinopathy of prematurity. In the next video, I will be telling exclusively about the classification of retinopathy of prematurity. So without much delay, let's begin our video. The first I will show how to write these clock hours in the retinal pictures or how to identify the clock hours. So first, as it is shown in this picture, this is the right eye and this is the left eye. So in the right eye, the clock hours are shown like this, from 1 to 12 o'clock position. Whereas in the left eye, again in the same pattern, 1 to 12 o'clock position. Don't get confused in the left eye. Don't show in this pattern. Okay. So it is again in the same pattern, 1 to 12 o'clock position. ROP is described according to each clock hour. Say from 12 to 1 o'clock position, is there any ROP change? From 1 to 2 o'clock position, from 2 to 3 o'clock position. So each quadrant is divided into 3 clock hours and then each clock hour is described in detail about the stages of the ROP. So the disease of ROP can be progressing either in a continuous manner or it can be patchy clock hours. Okay. So either it can involve 3 clock hours continuously or it can be like 1 clock hour in one quadrant or 2 clock hours in other quadrant. So consider each clock hour and then describe the ROP changes. So this is the Amsler-Dubius chart which you use to write the retinal diagrams. So as you can see, retina is represented in clock hours. Okay. So this is how you write the clock hour pictures in the retinal charts. Next, moving on to the zones. So the ROP is represented in zones, as you all know. So what is zone 1, what is zone 2 and what is zone 3? So what is zone 1? So it is nothing but a circular area, as you can see here. So the center of the circle is the optic disc. And what is the radius? It is the double the distance between the optic disc and the macula. Clear? So this is the radius of the zone 1 and from this you draw a circle that forms zone 1. Next, moving on to zone 2. Again it is a circular area. The center is again the optic disc. From the optic disc you take the radius up to the nasal oris aorta and then draw a circle. So if you exclude the zone 1 here, this part becomes your zone 2. So this is how you represent zone 2. Now we will move on to the zone 3. Zone 3 is not a circle. It is a crescent shaped area. As you can see here, it is a crescent shaped area which is there in the temporal part. So once you demarcate the zone 2, a temporal crescent area is left in the temporal part of the retina and that represents the zone 3. If you see the cut section like this, then the zone 1 falls in this part of the retina, zone 2 extends little anterior and the zone 3 is a temporal area which is still anterior to the zone 2. So hope the concept of zones is clear now. Here you can see the normal retina of the newborn where the vascularization is extending even into the periphery. Okay. So the caliber of the vessel is also normal and the vascularization has extended up to the periphery. This is the normal retina of the newborn. As you can see in this picture, the vascularization has not extended after this. See, the vessels are abruptly ending here and there is no vascularization. But along with that, there is no signs of ROP also. Like there is no whitish demarcation line or there is no ridge, nothing like that. Just there is abrupt stoppage of the vascularization in the peripheral part of the retina. So this is incompletely vascularized retina which we see in the preterm babies. So next, moving on to the stages of ROP. As you can see in this picture, this is the normally vascularized retina and this is the retina with no vessels, as you can see, and there is a demarcation line here. So this represents the stage 1 disease. So this is one more clinical picture which shows stage 1 ROP where there is demarcation line seen between the vascularized and avascularized retina. So what is this demarcation line? It is a very thin structure at the junction of vascularized and avascularized retina. It is flat and white and it is in plane with the retina. Means it is not either elevated or there is no width for this demarcation line. It is just a thin white line between the vascularized and the avascular retina. Next, moving on to stage 2. As you can see in this picture, this is the vascularized retina and this is the avascular retina, and in between there is a formation of ridge. The avascular line which was seen in the stage 1 will develop both height and the width to form the ridge here. And the ridge may vary in the height and its color may appear to range from white to pink. There can be small tuft of neovascular tissue lying on the surface of the retina. Again, this is a clinical picture which shows the ridge formation. As you can see, compared to the previous clinical picture which showed the demarcation line, here we have some width and the height for this line forming the ridge. This is one more appearance which is seen in the stage 2 called as popcorn lesions. So as you can see, these are few popcorn lesions which are seen. These are nothing but small isolated tuft of new vessels which are lying on the surface of retina. Again, this comes in stage 2 disease of ROP. Next, moving on to stage 3. Stage 3 is nothing but extraretinal new vessel proliferation, which extends from the ridge onto the vitreous. Okay, so as you can see, there are vessels here which are extending from the ridge onto the vitreous surface. This is the clinical photograph of stage 3. As you can see, there are few vessels which are growing from the ridge onto the vitreous surface, which contributes to stage 3 disease. Coming to stage 4. Stage 4 and stage 5 are nothing but with a retinal detachment. In the stage 4, we see partial retinal detachment. As you can see in this picture, so there is partial retinal detachment which may or may not involve the macula. This is the clinical photograph which shows partial retinal detachment here. This partial retinal detachment can be either exudative or can be tractional type. Again, this is one more clinical photograph which is showing the partial retinal detachment. Coming to stage 5 of the retinopathy of prematurity, here we have total retinal detachment which is usually funnel shaped. Okay, so there is retinal detachment which is usually funnel shaped, which can again be classified depending upon whether it's open or closed type. Okay, so when the child has stage 5 ROP, that is the total retinal detachment stage, then only the child will have this leukocoria. So when the parents present with a leukocoria in a premature baby or the ROP case, it is complete retinal detachment, and this is very late stage. The prognosis is very poor. Let me summarize the stages of retinopathy of prematurity once again. Let me keep it very simple. Stage 1, there is just a demarcation line. Okay. Stage 2, there is formation of the ridge. Stage 3, there is formation of the new vessels from the ridge onto the surface of the vitreous. Stage 4 is partial retinal detachment. And stage 5 is total retinal detachment. So hope this short video on the clock cover representation, zones of the ROP as well as the stages of ROP is helpful to all of you. If you like my videos, please do subscribe to my channel. Press the bell icon for further notifications. Please do like and share my videos. Thank you so much.